Mic check 1 2.
Hello, hello. Okay. There's a power button. Right over here on top. Yeah.
Yep, now it's green.
All right. Good to go. What time is the first one? Is it?
Well,
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock is when they do the intro.
Okay, I wasn't sure. So I'm super early, good.
Mic check 1 2.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
The seventh team, Steve,
Mhm.
crypto mining, has been canceled.
Canceled?
This one is canceled, the last one.
Okay, yeah. This one?
Yeah,
Steve
you
got
can take
this.
that one.
Okay.
And don't change the order. You can pick and choose.
Testing. Yeah. All right.
The star is born. So you have to hold it and then just.
And then
it should
just
be
hold
enough,
it to turn
and
it
then
off
you
now.
can tap it. So
Okay.
hold it and then let go.
Good morning and welcome to the 2022 Big Idea Pitch Challenge Finals. We are thrilled to hold this event for the first time in person. I'm Danielle Jeffers, Project and Career Technician here at Barstow College, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies. We have a very exciting morning planned, but we'd like to kick off today's events with opening remarks from Dr. Eva Bagg, Superintendent, President of Barstow Community College. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome Dr. Bagg to the mic now.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you all for being here. I am so excited. I know there's been a great deal of work and preparation for this big moment. I want to welcome our students. Great to see you emerging from our green room. Pretty exciting stuff. Thank you to our judges. I know you've invested a lot of time, and I know that although you will be providing critical feedback, I know that you're all very kind in the way that you do that. So thank you so much for your commitment to our young people. And thank you for everybody. We have many guests here to witness this event. You know, I'm so excited about this particular program, but it lives in the context of some really important work that we're doing at the college in collaboration with our high schools, which is one of the big things I think that really we've realized sets Barstow apart. The strong connection that we have with our high school and bringing them to the community college and on their way, hopefully developing their ideas and launching them out into the world. And I just want to make special note of a person at this college who's really been a driver of this. It's been a dream of hers for a long time. Professor Denise Pasley has such a passion and a skill and a gift for this. Thank you, Denise. I personally believe so much in entrepreneurship. My family were entrepreneurs, so I got to witness firsthand the kind of skills and drive and just not just the ideas that you bring to the world, but really the discipline and the courage and the risk-taking that you learn as entrepreneurs is super, super valuable. But more than that, I feel that this moment in history, there's so many challenges in our society, so many unmet needs. How are those things going to be met with heart and passion? I think it's from the entrepreneur. And it's with an entrepreneurial education that we will deliberately equip our students with the ability to identify problems, identify important needs, and to innovate meaningful solutions that add value to our society. So you are the future. And I commend you for the risk-taking that you've brought forward to present your ideas in public, but that's what it's all about, because it'll never go anywhere if it's just an idea. So I want to thank you all. I want to wish everybody a great event today. One other thing that I wanted to mention, I was looking at some statistics about businesses in our country. Roughly, this is a little bit old data from 2019, roughly 6 million businesses in the United States. Of those, 2.3% are Black-owned. So that's an issue, right? It's disproportionate to the little over 14% Black people in the United States. Most businesses are owned by whites, 70%. So we need to change that dynamic. It's an opportunity to bring multiple perspectives to the world of innovation and to close the equity gaps, not only in education, but in opportunities in our society. So I commend you all for supporting that important initiative as well. So with that, thank you again. I can't wait to see your ideas, and I wish you all the best success. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bagg. I do want to say your immeasurable support for education, all students, the community, and your dedication to increase innovation and entrepreneurship in our region is truly appreciated. The journey for the Big Idea Pitch contestants began on February 24th, when 61 high school and college students submitted their application for round 1. The application included a lean model canvas that helped them develop their business idea in 9 key areas: problem, solution, key metrics, unique value proposition, unfair advantage, channels, customer segments, revenue streams, and cost structure. Judges from both business and education reviewed and provided feedback on the lean model canvases. As difficult as it was, 20 contestants were chosen to move on to round 2. Round 2 contestants were tasked to submit a video pitch for their business or show their presentation skills. Again, the judges reviewed and provided feedback. The contestants today are going to present 7 different business ideas. They have all made it through round 2 and are finalists for round 3. Let's give them a hand. Throughout the process, the Big Idea Pitch contestants were not alone in their journey. They had the support of industry experts and educators from across the region that included online workshops, Zoom mentoring meetings, contest evaluation rubrics, and above all, encouragement. In the end, it was the goal of the Big Idea Pitch team to not only give out prizes and lunch today, but provide a relevant experience for all participants throughout all stages of the contest. This event would not be possible without the experts we have among us this morning. We are fortunate to have 5 judges on the panel today whose experiences range from startups to private industry to nonprofits to global Fortune 500 companies. Allow me to introduce them to you now. Please welcome Jessica Bells. Jessica, yes, thank you. Jessica has worked with various startup companies in the last 23 years in tech, real estate, risk management, and public relations, lending her experience in compliance, human resources, risk management, call centers, on-site construction management, health and safety plans, and strategic marketing. She currently owns integrated call centers and multiple real estate ventures in the U.S. Thank you, Jessica. Please welcome Lisa Kiplinger Kennedy. With over 30 years of business experience, Lisa Kiplinger Kennedy brings valuable knowledge serving as the Regional Director of Business and Entrepreneurship for the Inland Empire Desert Region. Ms. Kiplinger Kennedy owns and has been involved with the startup process of 3 small businesses and has been in top management positions for several other small corporations in the Inland Empire. These organizations were in various industries, including medical equipment and operations, health and wellness, and manufacturing. This experience gives her a broad understanding of the challenges facing entrepreneurs and existing business owners. Knowing the significance of small business to local communities, she is eager to assist them in productivity and success. Currently, she is using her passion for making a positive impact to grow innovation and the entrepreneurial mindset through an infrastructure of collaboration to advance the socioeconomic status of the communities throughout the region. Thank you for being here, Lisa. Please welcome Thomas Helen. Mr. Helen is an entrepreneur turned serial entrepreneur who has developed vast abilities in the areas of international sales, marketing, business development, and ecosystem building in the past 25 years. Mr. Helen's career includes working with and for global Fortune 500 companies, startup companies, as well as volunteering for various nonprofit organizations. He is now using his extensive experience and expertise to support other innovators, entrepreneurs, and founders. Thank you, Thomas. Please welcome John Odom Brown. Mr. Odom Brown served in the United States Marine Corps from 2004 to 2013 with 2 military combat deployment campaigns to Afghanistan as the lead administration's chief of 4,050 personnel from the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, and NATO. After his military service, Mr. Odom Brown was educated in business and entrepreneurship, receiving his entertainment business bachelor's degree from the renowned Los Angeles Film School, business management degree from Argosy University, and obtaining his master's degree in innovation and entrepreneurship from Full Sail University in Florida. He is the founder of Smartpreneur, which is the entrepreneur development agency dedicated to serving underrepresented entrepreneurs from all backgrounds, and serves as the lead entrepreneur in residence at Blackstone, as well as the director of the Blackstone Launchpad program at the University of California, Irvine, held on campus at the UCI Entrepreneur Center. Thank you so much, John. Please welcome Caitlin Yang. Caitlin is an educator, engineer, and the founder of GrasshopperFund.com, an edtech platform providing aspiring young founders access to on-demand entrepreneurship coaching, mentorship, and community and debt-free capital. Grasshopper Fund Incorporated partners with schools and organizations to educate founders on how to start, grow, and fund early stage companies. Her mission is to bring ideas to life regardless of age, gender, ethnicity, or socioeconomic standing. She currently serves as the Student Associate Manager and Venture Consultant at the UC Irvine Entrepreneur Center, developing interdepartmental relationships, teaching at flagship programs, and advising on various aspects of product design, development, marketing, and funding. Caitlin is pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, minoring in Material Science Engineering, and is the operation lead at UC Irvine's Rocket Project. Please join me in a round of applause for our expert judging panel for the 2022 Big Idea Pitch Challenge. I do want to say we are truly grateful that you have taken your time out of your busy schedules to support local entrepreneurs in the making here following their dreams. Your input and guidance are what makes this event possible today. Thank you so much. Finalists, are you ready to pitch? What you've all been waiting for, our student pitch presentations are next. This is the final round of the Big Idea Pitch Challenge. Students will be presenting in no particular order. Each student will have 3 minutes to present their idea. Ms. Denise Pasley will be keeping time and will hold up a 1-minute, 30-second, and time's up to help keep students on track and aware of their remaining time. Once students complete their pitch, judges, you have 7 minutes to ask finalists questions about their idea. All right. The first presentation is going to be from Dimitri Arciero from Mount San Jacinto College.
Hello? Hello? Okay. Hi. So, the soil quality in Southern California is terrible. I mean, terrible, right? You pour water on it, it just disappears. And then there's no nutrients. There's absolutely no nutrients. See, when you think when you put like corn, right? We're trying to grow corn in Southern California. Terrible. There's not enough nutrients, can't hold the water. So what do you do about that? Well, see, I've been working on a fertilizer that is a combination of worm castings and algae. And so the worm castings add the necessary nutrients and probiotics that the soil needs. In addition to that, the algae, it kind of acts like a sponge. And so when the cell is dried and then added to water, it swells back up, but then it can shrink back down to release the water as the plant needs it. And my process is actually about 3 times as efficient as traditional ways of harvesting worm castings along with harvesting algae. And I've noticed that this is a problem that's affected golf courses, it's affected farms, it's affected nurseries, it's affected, it's probably affected cemeteries, it's any place that has plants, it's actually affecting them. I've talked to, so I work at a nursery, and at the nursery, that's a constant task, because every day you gotta water, because in Southern California, it just evaporates, disappears quick. Along with desertification, how are we going to combat that? So I've got a fertilizer that can actually solve that. In addition to that, one amazing aspect of it is that I can actually process non-reusable paper products. So you know that like McDonald's cup they had, and they just fall into the abyss that is the trash or like the garbage? What happens to it? Nothing. But instead of that, give it to me, and I'll grow some mushrooms on it. With those mushrooms, I actually create a bio brick, and with that bio brick, it gets dried, and I can actually either sell it as like a brick. Like what I've found that works wonders with it is actually making a planter box out of the bio bricks. But if I don't want to sell it, I just turn it over to the worms. And the worms, they just chop that thing up, break it down, turn it into worm castings, and that just goes into the fertilizer. In addition to that, if I wanted to, I could actually use the algae and give it to the worm. So all the byproducts of the whole system get reinvested into the product, so there's actually no waste. And if you want to keep the grass green and the water bill low, buy Green Gnome fertilizer.
There we go. Hey, Dimitri. Great job for your presentation. Quick question, how fast can you grow a bio brick?
Probably within 2 weeks. The first sample that I ever made was in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes.
How much can grow in 2 weeks? Is it just one bio brick or?
The brick is probably about this size, that size brick, and the density is probably similar to like a styrofoam density, but it's made up of like, when I first made it, it was out of wood chips.
Last question, have you thought about like how much you would charge for a bio brick?
I have not decided on that, no.
So good morning.
Good morning.
Have you said you worked at a nursery right now. Have you tested these and used these at the nursery? And if so, what have you found as far as like water retention using those bricks?
So what happened, I have not used it at the nursery that I work at, but I have used it at home with like kind of like small experiments, right, to see. I've actually collected soil that was in like a dirt lot that was terrible, and then I added it to it. What I've noticed is that it increases like the aeration of it, but it does increase the amount of water that it can hold. Like you'll see kind of sometimes when you sprinkle it over top, it'll kind of swell up a little bit and create this almost kind of like looking like a glistening kind of appearance. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah.
Thank you.
Do you plan on hiring employees?
Yes, I believe that it'd be far easier to manage and actually produce by hiring employees. my system actually would cut down on the amount of necessary man hours. But what I would need employees for would probably be to make myself, or help me actually apply for grants, because I would be open for grants for carbon sequestration with the algae, and then I'd also be available for grants for the for reusing like non-recyclable paper products.
Great, thank you.
So Dimitri, I really love the storytelling aspect that you had to your pitch, and I also love that you talked about your credibility because you work at a nursery. So, obviously that makes you more of an expert than anybody else who would be pitching this idea. I'm also wondering, have you thought about who your competitors are? Are there people who already create biobricks, and what your company's difference is going to be?
I did do research to see if there was any kind of similar biobrick. There's not. There's like ones that are just made of like pressed briquettes kind of out of wood chips, but usually that just ends up kind of like degrading far quicker. Because with the way the mushrooms work, there's like the mycelium. The mycelium ends up using like a glue kind of texture to like lock it in.
Got it. And I know you said that these products create no waste, so you can actually create multiple products out of this. So is it the BioBrick and the planter box, or how many different products are you planning to have?
The two main products that I'm focusing on at the moment are the BioBrick and the fertilizer.
Got it. Awesome.
It's a quick question, Dimitri. Even though you're working at a nursery right now, have you thought about any particular partner here locally that would be ideal for you to work with?
I have actually gone around talking to local golf course. I went to talk to like 12 golf courses near me, and 3 of those 12 said that they were interested, and I offered to make them a free sample, and so I'm just in the process of trying to like accrue the samples for them. But yeah.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
Just 2 clarifying questions. I might have missed it. In that case, I'm sorry. How were you first attracted to this idea?
Well, I'm a gardener, and I enjoy being outside. And so if you ever have had to deal with plants before, especially in Southern California, it's just gonna you're gonna be there all day watering it, right? And so instead of doing that, I was like, well, I tried to use baby diapers. I've tried to use, but then it just didn't degrade. So just like weird gels, and I try to find like a more natural version of that. And so I figured agar and like algae are probably the closest, but yeah.
And to complement your skill set, who would you like to see on your team? What is the ultimate people to join you in this journey?
I'd probably need like a person who, one, is really good at writing grants, a person who is really good at probably has experience growing certain algae and determining what is the best algae for it, and then probably a person who is who could actually understand the legal aspect of it, because I'm not 100% sure. I've done research I know that there is permits that I need, and I also know that there are certain rules and regulations within like how you manage certain waste products. But yeah, that's what I probably need.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Yeah, Dimitri, I'll probably also say, it's probably going to be your responsibility to know what you want to create a biobrick out of, so you have that intellectual property. So you have to think about what's going to be different, right? Because if someone else has that skill set and that knowledge to create, they're going to be your competitor.
Yeah.
So, even though you're testing and prototyping now, you should definitely try to find out like what is the differentiator, if it's a different material, or not material, different
Process.
solution. It's going to come down to you.
Okay.
So you don't want someone else coming with that idea.
Yeah, got it.
Have you done testing on like soil?
I've
moisture
done
probes?
small scale tests in my own garden, and then I've also like handed it out to friends, and they say that it works. But like I haven't really done like large proper testing of it. But I know I've read research that supports the idea that adding algae will increase the water retention. But yes.
And that might be something to look into, is like soil moisture probes. There's some really inexpensive options to take a look at.
Okay.
So to kind of measure the retention level.
Yeah.
We didn't ask though, is there a unique differentiator between your BioBrick right now? Is there something?
At the moment, I've done research, and there's no one that produces a mushroom-based BioBrick for the use in as a material, like a building block material. But yeah.
Thank you very much. That was great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dimitri. Thank you so much. Coming to the floor now is Israel Peralta from Barstow High School.
Hello. Have you or a loved one ever been had mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, an eating disorder? Well, with my possible idea would be help you. So it would be counseling done affordably and smarter. Some people with mental health issues don't like going into a traditional office and being there to be counseled. Oh, my bad. They would rather do it in a comfortable setting, which would be their own house. So my idea would be to do it over a meeting such as Zoom, Google Meets, etc. So what I want to integrate is affordability and also inclusivity. So for people with LGBT and race, belief system, things such as that, I want to eliminate in counseling. Because while it may seem small, it could change. It could have a big change on how you get counseled and how you mentally attack these problems. So I want to not only filter it so it's like a mirrored version of you. So like someone who's known to deal with the things that you've dealt with, such as racism, sexism, and my bad. Things just such like that. I just really care about mental health, and mental health in America is seen as like, oh, you're bad if you're going to counseling in every type, of any type. If that's couples counseling, yourself just getting counseled for something like a mental issue. It's just, I want to change that and flip it. Getting the help that you need is the first step to making your dreams come true. And that's what I want to do. How I'll make it affordable is I'll cut down cost of such as an office building, people who whose job titles aren't needed for compared to my counseling and traditional counseling. The differentiator between me and my competitors would be that I create an affordability, a transparency, and also cybersecurity. My competitors have not have the best cybersecurity over the years. There's been data breach and information spilling that they don't have the correct professionals to counsel. I'm done.
Thanks, Israel. So myself and Kaylin, we actually just did we're launching a hackathon right now at UCI, specifically around student health, mental health, and it's happening right now. So you're spot on with what's happening in the mental health state, and as we all get out of the pandemic and the challenges, asynchronous meetings aren't going to stop. So I think you're in a good space of trying to create an in-home solution. I was just going to ask, it seems like you're doing a better perspective. You're creating a matchmaking service with a professional who has identified their issues, and then someone who needs it can see that professional has similar issues and reaches out or connects. Can you just explain that process that you're thinking about?
For example, since I'm Hispanic and straight and cisgendered, I would get someone who's a professional who could be like my therapist, who's also Hispanic, straight, and cisgendered.
Got
So like they could get some perspective, because if it's someone who's not really like similar like me, they're not gonna be able to relate or see how such things has affected me. There's like empathy and stuff like that.
I have a question regarding your business model. So how exactly are these counselors employed? Like, are you bringing people in to be counselors for your service? I think I'm just not really clear on how you get the counselors for
Yes,
your business.
We would be hiring counselors. We would throw out job opportunities to see who could apply for them, and marginalize it to see like, for specific groups.
Have you looked into the funding for how you're going to pay those professionals?
Yes, since we'll be saving money on an office space and such utilities, we would pass that off to the counselors, which would not only raise their pay, but we would also get a split of that profit.
Thank you.
I feel that cybersecurity is an issue, and I'm glad that you've taken that into consideration. So what are some of the methods that you are planning to employ to secure?
With my competitors, they used very like standard encryption, and for something that's so like valuable, not only to that person, but like to anybody, they keep it like so personal. So what we'll do is use it as in like similar to how the dark web works. So like imagine a soccer field, and Amy passes it to Sarah. Sarah passes it to James, and it just goes on and on. You can't keep track of who had the ball until they scored the goal, but you can't say, oh, Jamie, scored the goal. That's it. That would be standard encryption. Well, we will be passing it on to multiple servers, so it's very hard to track and to unencrypt.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, Israel, as Jean mentioned, we just had a mental health hackathon, and it's becoming more and more apparent that this is a problem that definitely needs to be solved. So I think it's very inspirational that you're tackling this and tackling this head on. My question is more, which customers will you go after first? Is it students or people in industry? Who are you thinking of going after first?
Personally, first I want to do men, specifically because like men in society, it's like, oh, if you get help, if you cry, if you do any of those, even if you're too emotional, you're seen as like a problem. If you're too angry, you have problems. If you're too sad, you have problems. And there's not really like people who support men, and while we just take all the beatings, I want to like first attack that so that we could lower like suicides in men. It's been proven that it's like 3 times as much as in any other group.
Awesome. There's definitely somebody that I'd like to introduce you to who's kind of working on men's mental health as well. Her name is Stefani, and she's been helping out with creating the mental health hackathon. So please connect with me afterward, and I can definitely introduce you to her.
All right, thank you.
And if I may also ask you, who else do you see on your team to make this happen?
So obviously I would need some counselors. I would also need somebody to do a background check, because my competitors have been seen to not hire fully professionals, and they just hire people who aren't, don't have the degrees, or they haven't put the work in to be a counselor. So I would have someone to do that, to do background checks, to make sure that they, what they're saying on paper isn't, they're not lying or creating fraud. So, and also, I would also need someone just basic schedule person to scheduleize meetings to see, oh, can this person fit into meetings with this counselor, and yeah.
So Israel, so specifically you want to focus on men's mental health right now, even though you were mentioning mental health overall?
Yeah, that's my end goal is for everybody, but currently it's like men's mental health, because there's just so many problems that with
Yeah.
men's mental health, not caring about it will cause. So I kind of want to like lower it so that it's not so bad, and
Yeah.
so that men feel that people care about them.
Got it. Have you thought about, I wrote down just like this perspective of being able to be incentivized for taking care of your own mental health, like starting the process, the journey, and kind of gamifying that, because you're connecting professionals and individuals who need it. But if they're working on it, what would make them more excited is to be incentivized on working on their mental health as well. Have you thought about anything in that space?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah,
really
how do
understand.
you help, or how do you make sure that they feel like they're getting better on their mental health? Which any ways that you can, besides just talking about it and building a business around it, because the individuals, the men themselves need to know and feel like they're getting the support that they need. So how are you thinking about identifying that?
Like creating goals, like for such thing as like social anxiety, we could create goals like, even if it's something to start as talking to a stranger and just saying hello, just like creating those goals of like, try to say hello to a stranger, and then moving on till like do something like this where it's like a public speech where it's like multiple people.
Yeah, I would look at just thinking about that process you just talked about. Is you can gamify that. You can make it interesting, more interesting to do things. So there might be more technology that you haven't thought about yet. I would just think about going down that lane.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
And one last question for you. And by the way, you're doing great.
Thank you.
Why do you feel that you're the right person to solve this problem?
Personally, like in my life, as a man, I've been shut down for like expressing my emotions, for coming to a friend that would always come to me for their problems. So I want to create like a safe space so that those people that need the help could get it.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Great job. Ruth.
Thank you so much, Israel. We are going to give the judges just a couple moments before we welcome up our next finalist.
I'm not finished yet. I'm putting the +1 or +3.
Thank you again so much, Israel. Next, we have Brandon Powlitz D. Ritter from Barstow High School.
Hi, my name is Brandon Powlitz Ritter, and are you like me? I'm tired of going to lunch and there's only like a cheese quesadilla or a chicken taco, you know, something simple. So here at there at B-Dogs, we offer more than one option for you. So like quesadillas, you can get either chicken, cheese, like carne asada, like there's just multiple options because well, that's what we like to offer more than one option, and sorry. So we like to offer more than one option, and another thing that we will offer at B-Dogs is delivery services. So you can put in a phone order. We'll have an Instagram and a Facebook set up, and you can put orders through there. So to run the business, we will need 2 people working in the food truck. We'll have 2 delivery drivers, and then a person that'll be taking the phone calls or basically just setting up the orders. And then so the reason I came up with this was because my dad, when I grew up, he would always just make a bunch of food, and it was always delicious. And some of my favorites was like the quesadilla, the grilled cheese, and so it made me want to put my own food out there now. And with the quesadillas, you'll be able to choose like what type of cheese, what type of meat we'll put on it. And like grilled cheeses, we'll have a different assortment of breads that you can choose from as well. And they are also cheap. Like, it's not very expensive. They're like, if y'all were to choose just a few items and write down your total, it would be most likely less than 20. And so, I mean, you get to make your meal with the cheap amount, and yeah. That's it.
All right.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
So Brandon, you mentioned your father used to, did he have a food truck, or did he just cook a lot?
He just cooked at home.
Cook
Like, he
like-
would just make a bunch.
So I didn't hear the name of your company. What did you?
Oh, B-Dogs food truck?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's interesting. You've identified that you need to have, certain people to make this happen. Were you thinking just to get one food truck right now and get started? And which location were you thinking about getting started?
Oh, that was another thing. Because I would like to be active with the customers on the Facebook and Instagram, each day we'll post like a daily poll and they'll get to choose the next location or the location for the next day.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Yeah.
First of all, the food looks delicious. So, are you going to expand your menu, or are you?
Yeah, later down the road, that's just what I want to start with, and then later down the road, I want to add like more meats, more stuff to the menu, and then. Yeah.
What kinds of delivery services or catering services were you considering?
If they were to message us like on Facebook or Instagram, we're able to set up catering. Like, we'll do parties, other sort, like we'll do anything. But we'll also let our customers know, like, okay, we'll be doing this day, so they'll know not to, deliver or make orders that day.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you've got like 3 or 4 people that you want to be working with you. How large is this food truck that you're planning to have?
Well, it'll be large enough we'll only need 2 people in the food truck, and then they'll have like 2 drivers that'll deliver the food, and then just one person, like, they'll have like a little setup. for
Okay,
them.
so the delivery is separate from the food truck, your
Yeah.
delivery service? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, looking at all of this, Brandon, makes me really hungry. So, yeah, but I was going to say, I think this can definitely, if it goes off, it can definitely be a household name. I don't know if you've heard of Porto's Bakery, but that's also a family-owned business, and they have a huge chain now. And I also really like your idea for choosing a food delivery location, or having people, choose the location, because that can be very powerful, especially if you have limited time options on your menu, or you say, maybe I'm just going to have a gigantic, cheese quesadilla this day in this location, and everybody will want to come to you and visit you if you advertise that. I know because so I live in LA, and there's this, I think there's this lobster truck that comes, once every month or something like that, and everybody kind of looks it up on the website and makes sure that they're there on that date, and you just have people lining up. So I think that can be very powerful. My question is, have you sold any of these already? Have you gotten customers to, ask for certain menu items, or how's that been going?
I haven't sold anything, but I have an Instagram account myself that I post my food on, and a couple friends at school are like, bring me some food, I'll buy it, but I haven't brought anything yet.
Yeah, I would say, Brandon, in Santa Monica, there's always these food truck, pre-COVID, there was always these food truck days and of the week that you can get a lot of people to come to. I think what you can do earlier before your food truck is just, take B-Dogs and create a day and come over here to Barstow and just call it Famous B-Dogs and just see what happens. See how many people will come and buy, and so that you can at least get the money right now to start generating so you can get that food truck. The food truck is a tough thing because you have to spend at least about $20,000, close to $50,000 to kind of get that off the ground. So you would have to figure that one out. And then also just for your the location, that's going to be really fun, but the challenge you have right now is there's no blanket license in California for you to be in all locations, in every location. You have to have a license for each location that you're trying to go to. So you want to remind yourself, get those 3 locations you can get, the certifications for those 3 locations, and then now you can choose between those locations.
Thank you.
And perhaps one of the ways that you can do this too is, in a lot of farmers markets, they're popping up everywhere. And those, I don't think you necessarily have to get licenses for, because, farmers markets already have licenses within their own cities. So you can start by tabling there and getting to know people in the city who can then provide the license to you for your food truck later on down the line. And that way you also get to do market research.
Thank you.
Another location you may want to consider are like the flea markets and the county fairgrounds, and test out certain food products and get customer feedback, and maybe working with smaller local businesses, to kind of test some of your menu items and get some honest feedback on, what kinds of things you can improve on, tweak on, things like that.
Thank you.
And I love the combination of your social engagement, picking the location, and then having delivery as well from that area. That's going to be very unique, and you're reaching a new audience every day almost, right? Could you just explain a little bit more, what have you done in regards to research? Who are your primary target customer for this, as you see it?
The primary targets are just anyone who wants more options instead of just the normal simple stuff. And then the research I did is that no other food truck will offer delivery, which I found wow. But
So just a suggestion, I would narrow down your customer focus a little bit more.
Okay.
Work on your customer discovery, customer research, so you can develop a persona. Because as soon as you have identified who that persona is, who you're really reaching through social media, it's going to be so much easier for you. All right?
Thank you.
But great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Let's give our first 3 finalists another round of applause for their job this morning. Great job on your presentations and all the work you've done to get to this point. We are going to take now a momentary break in the program. I want just to let you know that restrooms are on the other side of the main lobby. There's water here in the Black Box Theater, but there's also colder water in the ice chest in the main lobby as well. And we're going to take a 10-minute break. The timer is on the screen. You don't want to miss the final presentation, so make sure you are back in your seat with enough time to spare. We're going to have this countdown going and displayed to remind us when time is up. And thank you so much for being here.
3. I was like doing 1, 3 points.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah, 1 through 3 points on the side. So this is above and this is negative. So whatever number you put here is negative. This is positive. Then you subtract.
Okay. I thought I asked one.
Cousins, Maine? Cousins, Maine, right? So you're talking about? That's what we could have it down here too.
Yeah, they come to the brew, and it's always a hit.
Yeah.
Do we turn this off?
Oh. Cousins. Oh yeah, it's so good. You've had it, right? Cousins. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So okay, that's maybe that's we're probably not answering this one. So
One of the questions I was thinking.
that's this right here. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So these are all three then, I guess. Okay, yeah, let me take a look.
Okay, so explain here what she just said.
Okay, so basically, it's either
I
minus 2.
love your questions.
So
So it's
they're on
either
target.
-2, 1, or...
Yes, minus 2, yeah, and then you put it-
So it's not any range?
Yeah, so that's why I misunderstood that too.
You're trying to overthink it, right?
And if we're on target, just click it. Yeah, the X on here.
Oh, okay. How to organize it in a way that makes sense. Okay. Right. Right, the way it's not making sense and flowing. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I did mine wrong, I'm sorry. I gave them actual scores. So I'm fixing it.
You can put that there, because it's the same one, but just,
Well, no,
you can
I'm-
either
I
X,
was-
whatever.
No, I
That's
put
it.
like 1 through 3 on each
They-
of them.
Oh, okay,
Here.
okay.
Here.
Okay, thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm doing my job. I want to make sure it's right. I don't want to have any issue. You know, it's like when you do the test, it's like, oh my God, what kind of issue am I going to have? Right? Did I add that right? Is it in the computer? Is the formula right in there?
All right.
Yeah, take your time, guys. We got a couple more minutes here.
two more left, right?
Fix this one. Which one was this food truck? Green gnome.
Green gnome, thank you.
And I hope you
What?
can understand it.
You have green gnome?
Green, what?
Green gnome?
Oh, no, I already gave him.
Did you already think of the scores?
I had messed up, because I wrote down scores, so then I just put in,
Oh, okay, okay,
because
okay.
I had messed up because I was writing scores, so I was trying to make it clear like that was a one.
Oh, okay, okay,
That
okay.
was a
Yep, all right,
three,
perfect.
that was a three.
Thank you. Green gnome? She had given it back to you?
No, I gave it back to her. I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it. Mm-mm.
I hope she can understand what I did. I didn't even mess this thing.
Thomas, is it right there? No. Oh, okay.
Oh, she found it.
Okay, okay.
Welcome back, everyone. It is now time for our fourth presentation, and this will be from Tyler Hoskins from Barstow Community College.
My name's Tyler. Do you guys have any pets? Yeah, I got a dog last year. I really wanted one for a long time, and he's an outside dog, so he digs all the time. He's gotten out before. He loves to get next door and play with the other dog, stuff like that. But whenever my family, we're not home a lot of the time. My mom has work, I have school, so we worry about him. Worry about him getting out, worry about us coming home and he's not there. So I really wanted to come up with something that would prevent that, or at least give us a chance to prevent that. So I came up with Pet Track. I was thinking of like a device that could give you an alert on your phone, attaches to their collar, so it's not invasive for them, like a microchip or something like that. It would obviously have to be pretty durable for dogs, you know. It'd get into a lot of stuff. But so I thought it would be a good idea for owners to have like an app on their phone, gives them 24/7 GPS tracking to their dog. They got out, and also give them a set location to where they are, like their house. So if they do leave that set location, it gives you an alert. I feel like that would be, like the customers for this would be the people that really, really care about their dog, I'm sure, or pet, cat, I'm sure everybody does. And somebody that's really busy, so they're not home all the time to look after their pet. There's obviously other things like the Apple Tag, but I feel like this would need to be a durable product for people so it doesn't break, it's not invasive. I also think that it's really important to people, their family. It's a pet is a family member to a lot of people. I know it is to me. And obviously, I feel like I should be the one to make this product because I don't want to feel the pain of losing a family member and a pet, and I don't want anybody else to do that either. Now, I do think I would need like a tech-savvy person to help me with the app and the tracking, but I feel like just coming from somebody who has a pet, that it'd be best for them to get this message across. That's all.
Probably not the, I'm not the pet owner here. I think everyone else has pets on the panel. But I've had pets before, and I know exactly what you mean. They are like family. And I think you hit on a point. I just want to know, like, have you done any level research on lost pets in the U.S.? Like, what kind of statistics pops up, and so that can validate that this is a great solution?
I don't think I've done any research on lost pets, because whenever I was doing this assignment, I did, I don't remember the research, but I did research of how many pets there is, or how many dogs there is in the U.S. alone, and how many families have those dogs, and it was a substantial number. And I'm sure most dogs, I've known people, and their dogs have gotten out before, they haven't come back, so it's not really what I want.
Product for
Yeah.
right now? Okay.
I feel like later on it could become like a cat or something like that, but I feel like dog is where it's at right now, especially because they're outside the most.
Great job. You drew us in with your pet antics there. So I have a question for you regarding your competition. So how do you see yourself as different? I know you mentioned the non-evasive, but as far as the other apps that are out there for tracking pets?
I think the best way to be different is to make it customizable, like make it like a dog tag, like have their name on it, your phone number on it. Also, like on the app, like have like a circle with the picture of your dog on it and stuff like that. I think that would be the best way to put us apart from other companies.
Have you identified the cost of your subscription service? Is it going to be a subscription a monthly service?
I have thought about that. Like I thought about maybe just once they buy it one time, they have the app for life, or also whenever they buy it, they get to use it 3 months free, and then they have to start paying for it. I think that would be the best idea, is to make it like a subscription, give them 3 months, and if they do like it, then they could keep paying for it. Feel like that would be the best option.
How durable is your product?
I think it would have to be very durable because, especially big dogs and just dogs in general, they like to dig, get into, if they do encounter another dog, start playing and play fighting and stuff. So I feel like it would have to be durable and be able to hang on to their collar as well.
Have you done some testing on yet?
I haven't really done any testing. I'm not, I don't really know too much about engineering and stuff like that to make sure that it would be safe and durable enough for a dog and their customer. But I'd like to.
Yeah, first off, great storytelling.
Thank you.
You drew us in right away, right? But yes, I think, identifying who on your team you might need, and also how you can create a prototype.
Yeah.
That would be very helpful. And there's a lot of different solutions, but how can you explain a little bit more about what your thought process is behind that?
I think the best, first person to look for to join the team would be like an app designer to help me design the app. Also, maybe like an engineer type person to help me design the tag and make maybe a collar, like to make sure that device and the collar are compatible. I think that would be the first two options.
Yeah, Tyler, I really like the customizable aspect of it. I think especially if you integrated that into your business model, a lot of people who are very dedicated to their pets, right, would love that model. You know, they can choose the color of the leash, maybe they can, choose the different types of materials and all of that. So that can be very powerful. I'm wondering if you've talked to any other dog owners about this and what they might have thought about it.
Not really. The only really people I've told is like my mom, my teacher, Miss G, she's helped me a lot. So, but my mom, she thinks it'd be a good idea as well as I, because our dog, he loves doing his own thing. Like I think he eats the dirt sometimes. So, yeah, I think I should talk to more dog owners, pet owners, and see what they would think about that. But I do know that, families look at their pet as a family member, and they would really do anything for them. So I think that's just how I went about it.
Yeah, I think even if you sent out a form, a lot of people would be willing to just check off that poll, and you'd be able to figure out what exactly they want to see in your product. And so when you do release that product, people will come in and put in orders.
Thank you. I think that would be a good idea to do a survey on what people think about it.
Hey, Tyler, you mentioned earlier, you said something about an Apple tag. Is that a way that you can strap that against your dog's collar and just see what happens? I don't know if that's an easier prototype, or does it not have the tracking mechanism?
The Apple tag, it's not really meant for pets, so it's more meant for things you want to track, like a car or something like that, keys. It's not really something that could go through wear and tear. I think that would be a good idea to test that out on a pet, but I I think it would just break. I think that's the durability aspect of the product.
Maybe you could consider maybe like a case prototype, right? Maybe using another, like say an Apple tag, right, as a prototype, and maybe testing out a case prototype, right? Like kind of like an OtterBox to a cell phone, right?
That's a great idea.
So, so that might be something to start off with, to see if you can kind of test out a product and material that's actually durable, and then go from, maybe engineering from there.
I think that'd be a good idea to do that.
And as she's mentioning, like, it may not be the Apple tag, so do your research on whatever the best tracking solution is out there that's affordable, and then figure out what tracking measures that you want to track, and at least you're going to get some data that will allow people to understand like why this is important based on what you want to track, right?
Yeah, and I think Apple tags might be expensive too. So if you want to go for a cost-efficient way, you should look up getting an Arduino and hooking that up with another sensor, like a geolocation tag, and that's something that could probably cost $20 to $30. Yeah, and that might be a more cost-efficient way of going about it. That way, you know how to engineer it yourself, and you can make multiple copies of it too.
With this, Caitlin will help you understand what an Arduino is and figure it out. All right.
Thank you.
Great job, Tyler. Next, we welcome Desiree Garrett from Barstow Community College to the mic.
Hi, my name is Desiree Garrett, and I'm the CEO of Aqua Delicate. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking you've never heard of Aqua Delicate, but you will, and let me tell you why. As you can see, I'm wearing acrylic nails, which is a signature statement for girls just as young as 12 years old. Now, as pretty as they are, they can easily break due to the constant motion of our hands. Oftentimes, when that nail breaks, it damages the real nail underneath, and when that happens, it causes severe pain, discomfort, constant throbbing, and not to even mention the blood due to the fact that your real nail and your acrylic nail are sealed together. All you want to do is relieve that pain. However, there is no product on the market that you can apply that easily removes that acrylic nail. That is where Aqua Delicate comes in. So ladies, listen. Listen, I have the solution to all your problems. And men, listen, I have the solution for the ladies in your life. So look, Aqua Delicate is designed to be a liquid solution that you apply to the base and perimeter of the nail. The idea is that it will break down the structures within the bonds of the nail agent, allowing that nail to be removed quickly and easily. That's Aqua Delicate's aim, to work quickly and efficiently. It's that simple. You apply a few drops and you let it work its magic. And furthermore, it will not add any additional pain or discomfort to what you are already experiencing. That's the best part. All right, so I was attracted to this idea due to my personal experience. I love acrylic nails, but I found myself constantly having the same problem with my nail breaking underneath my acrylic, and I was constantly frustrated that I had to always implement methods to get that nail removed. I also had 3 sisters, and I used to dance, and I found that many girls were experiencing the same issues. So I sat and thought to myself, wouldn't it be great if a product was created to fix this issue, but wouldn't it be even better if I was the one to create the product? So that's why I feel like I am the right person to solve this need, because this is personal for me, and I actually have a passion to fulfill this need. And I know that I have a great idea for a new product to put on the market, but with every new product, you need a team behind it. So that's why I know I would be in need of a chemist that can help me in the making and mixture of the recipe, to ensure that it will not cause any damage or any adverse effects to my consumers. I will also be in need of advisors that can assist me in the promotion and marketing of my product to my early adopters and my customer segments. I want to guarantee that my customers never have to go through this experience again. So take a risk on Aqua Delicate, the solution you never knew you needed. Thank you. Thank you.
That was a great presentation. You totally drew us in. Great storytelling, too. So I have a question for you. Is there anything on the market currently? Do you have any competitors in the market for this product?
I am so glad you asked. Currently, there is no product on the market that is a liquid solution that can remove acrylic nails. The closest thing we have is acetone, which really only removes nail polish, you know, or you can sit and soak for forever to get their nail removed. So there's no product that will do what I want to do.
Desiree, are you the one who is creating the solution, or who's creating it?
So I would need like a chemist to help me with the making and the mixture, because I'm not too, you know, into chemicals like that. But, you know, it's my idea, but I do need somebody to implement that. I have been like kind of experimenting, but haven't found anything quite yet that will work. So I would need.
I don't know. I was going to ask Kaylin, is this material science? I don't know. No, I think it's a great idea. I mean, I don't have nails, but I have two daughters who probably wouldn't want to use the other option, obviously, because it can damage your nails over time. So I think it's a great idea, but it does need the science behind it, right? So I think that's where your focus should be for as long as you possibly can, so that you can validate it with yourself, right?
Absolutely.
And you're solving your own problem, which. You know, many women have nails like you, so I think that's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, just like Jean mentioned, I think acetone is not good for your nails. I think it turns your nails yellow, so you probably don't want to use that. But I've been seeing a lot of products come into market recently that are more organic. Maybe you can kind of look at those models and experiment with those as well, put those together. You know, become your own chemist in a way.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and I was thinking, you know, one of the questions that I have is this a solution that you're selling direct to consumer, or are you thinking of selling to nail salons? You know, which one are you leaning
I feel
towards?
like you're in my head. Both, honestly. I feel like it can be a product that I can put into nail salons and they can, you know, sell them to their customers, because they have to use their machines pretty much to get the nail removed, or they use another acrylic nail and pry it off, and that doesn't feel good. So I feel like it's both. I can help people locally, you know, sell online, wherever. I feel like it can work either way, both
Yeah,
ways.
definitely.
To give you a little bit of confidence real quick, like just very recently, there's two young ladies, and I don't know, I remember the name of the company, but I know their story. They just got funded for organic weave, right? Organic weave, and this is, no one even knew this was in the industry, because, you know, they come from a background where no one understood what it is. I think a lot of women understand what you're talking about. I think there's a lot of women out there who would invest in a product like this. So I think you have the business model perspective, you can go deeper on that. You can get the science done, but I think if you understand how the business model would work, that can match up with who you're going to find out, can help you with the science. So still work on the business model, the pricing model, the revenue model, and then go with that with a little bit of confidence.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, great presentation, great energy. One comment, in addition to chemists and advisors, I really think for something like this, look at the marketing and look at the branding of your product.
Okay.
So what is your brand message? And is there an social good aspect that you can tie in with this as well? Because as you know, in the cosmetics industry, it's very, very competitive. Sorry,
Yeah.
competitive. So if you can find a real clear differentiator also in your messaging, that's going to be very powerful.
Great, thank you.
I really found your product to be compelling, because these are all pain points I had. This is why I don't do acrylics, but if I had this solution, right?
Yes.
This would solve my problem.
Right.
And so, you know, I like the idea of, you know, going to salons and demonstrating it, right? And, you know, and going into suppliers, right?
Yes.
And so, you know, a lot of suppliers sell them, and a lot of people go to them. That might reduce a lot of your logistics in terms of, you know, warehouse space and
Right.
things like that. So, but definitely, I definitely would, you know, also take a look at, you know, partnering with different chemists and looking at organic solutions and natural solutions as well. I think
Definitely.
that, there's a huge market in that.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? No? Thank you.
Great job, Desiree. I think we should take the time to give all of our contestants today another round of applause. Contestants, please stand and soak it up. Job well done. Thank you so much for being here and presenting your ideas to all of us today. We need to give our judges a little time now to make their final deliberations, and while the rest of us stay and enjoy some vendor presentations. So I'm going to excuse the judges now to the green room, and when they return, we will have our top 3 finalists for the event. Barstow Community College has some very exciting work happening, and you'll hear more about that from each of our vendors. Each vendor has 4 to 5 minutes to present, and our first vendor is Denise Pasley for CEO Club.
English, math, science, history. It doesn't matter what the curriculum they're studying. Business ideas are everywhere. We are all able to nurture business ideas. That's my goal for the CEO Club. So if you are out there, a student on this campus, and you are interested in building your skills, sharing your ideas, collaborating with like-minded people like us to grow. And don't forget, we have a makerspace on here. So if you have some ideas that need prototypes, that can work as well. So like Ms. Jeffers said, a lot of great things are happening here for business. And we're very excited, and I am very excited. Please stop by the table or email me or call me up here at Barstow College if you're interested in being part of the Collegiate Entrepreneurship Organization, CEO. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Denise. Job well done. Our next vendor is Elena Rivera, representing Adult Education.
Good morning, everyone. I feel so happy to be here today, and this is my first time participating and viewing the pitch contest. We definitely have to promote this in our community. This has to get bigger and make it an annual event. So I am the director of the Barstow Community College Adult Education Department, as well as the Barstow Area Consortium for Adult Education, which includes our 3 K-12 school districts, Barstow Unified, Silver Valley Unified, and Baker Valley Unified. And what is adult education? Adult education is for those that are 18 and over that want to pursue their education, continue for whatever reason they did not complete their high school. And without any judging or anything, we bring them on wherever they are, and we help them obtain their GED or complete their high school diploma. This year, we are so proud that a very important person in our community, many of you know Kay Whitecloud. She represents our Native American community here in Barstow. She is 83 years old, and this week she just completed her work to graduate. 83 years old. So we do celebrate everyone, and we take everyone at whatever age, and we don't mind the circumstances that happened. We help them with resources and services to be able to support them all throughout their work to obtain that goal of getting their GED or high school diploma. And as I go around the community, we all know someone in our family or in our neighborhood that would like to do that. So for Ms. Kay, it was a wonderful dream for her. In her early years in high school, back in the day, women married early, and she married when she was in high school with her family's blessings as tradition, and she became pregnant and was not able to complete high school in her senior year. And through the decades, after raising her own children and grandchildren, now she has great-grandchildren, she always had that in her heart, that she really wanted to complete high school. And it was a big deal to her. So you are all welcome to the Barstow Adult School graduation to see her. It's going to be held Saturday, May 21st at the Barstow Fine Arts Academy. It's such a big deal for us and a big accomplishment for her and her family. Barstow Adult School, well, all of the schools, meaning Barstow College and all the ones at K-12, also have a lot of partnerships. We have partnerships here at the college with career technical education, where we offer non-credit workforce skills classes like preparation to get a forklift license, as well as trades technician, and also customer service, essential skills that are highly required by all our employers here in our area. And it doesn't matter if you have your high school diploma, your bachelor's, your associate's degree, or master's degree. Customer service and essential skills are key. And many times, people lose opportunities because they don't have those skills, basic skills that make businesses grow. If you have your master's degree, but you don't know how to collaborate, how to talk with people, how to sell the services or products, then you don't have the sales, right, that the job requires. So that's just an example. We also have support academic classes like English, basic English skills, math skills to be able to prepare for the college level classes. We have English as a second language, and then also classes for our families in our community to become U.S. citizens. And to learn about our American history and so forth. We also support the great venture that we have here in development, which is the Innovation and Entrepreneur Center. Barstow Consortium for Adult Education is fully in support of this center because we see the need in our community. Community members have taken surveys and have shared with us that they want to learn how to open a business. They want to learn how to create their innovation and bring about their ideas into fruition, make them come to life. And so here, with the vision that Dr. Bagg, our president superintendent, has brought to our campus, we are now opening up this center, and it's going to provide classes for people to take. What is entrepreneurship, and what does that entail? How can I go about getting my business license, and what are other requirements that the local municipality requires, county and state and federal? There's lots of things to look into. We're also going to bring in mentors, so those that have the experience and expertise can mentor those that are just bringing about their business. We have a makerspace lab that's going to, Mr. Frank Garcia is going to speak more on it, but it's actually where you could actually go to a center and do hands-on experimenting and to get prototypes in place and learn how to use, for example, 3D printers and beyond that. We have also, what's very important in our community is family development, parenting classes. Children are born, and parents, we learn how to be parents as we go along, but we do have master teachers that can help with many of the complicated situations that happen when parenting, and we have support groups, so that's another area that we service our community. And we are going to be having workforce reentry and life skills workshops free to the community. We also have academic and career counseling with our counselors here on campus. And I'm very happy that we always partner with different organizations in the community, nonprofits and businesses, to be able to bring more to our students. So for example, I'd like to highlight, we have here a guest, Luis, right here, Argiles. He is our job counselor that's going to be coming on a monthly basis here to match our students with ideal jobs for them. So he's working out of the High Desert Chamber of Commerce, and he has contacts with employers in the High Desert, a few hundred of them, that are eagerly trying to find their ideal candidates to employ them. So we're going to have him here. I'm going to have this flyer outside on the booth, and then that way you could get this information. You could meet Mr. Luis there and make an appointment. He's going to be on campus tomorrow, and we could match him up. And this is, folks, this is all free of charge, and this is part of the Adult Education Department. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elena. We have some wonderful things happening here, not only in adult education, but across the Barstow College campus. Next, we're going to welcome Frank from Makerspace.
Hi, my name's Frank Guercio. I've been in the maker community for about as long as it's existed in this country. I want to talk for a second about immigration and opportunity. My family came to this country from Sicily a little over 110 years ago. And the father who came brought with him his son and his daughter. His daughter died shortly after they got here. His wife had a very difficult time coping with that. At the time, the United States had a very strict immigration policy, and so you had to have skilled labor. You had to bring your own job with you. What he did was make shoes. It's a very important skill, even more important then, but the important thing is that he made something. The job that he could maintain, could keep with him, bring across international boundaries was the skill that he learned. It was a material good he produced, and he could produce it anywhere. That is something that many Americans don't have the opportunity to learn today. The Makerspace is really the first major investment in the Barstow area to provide toward that as an option. My job is to be able to empower each and every person in the Mojave to realize their own potential. And to that end, I want to talk about my history a little bit. I've struggled. I'm from here. I grew up about a block off 7th Street. It wasn't the best place in the Mojave, certainly not then, and it's gotten a little bit better over time. But when we're talking about capacity, what people are capable of doing, no one can do anything on their own. There's no such thing as a self-made man. We all need help. We all need a community. We all need resources to draw from. My great-grandfather did when he came here. I founded a couple of prototyping studios and design studios across the state and across the country, and I came back because I found that I got lucky. There wasn't anything about me that was special. There wasn't any education or knowledge or application of that was unique to me, other than I got lucky. And so every single one of you, not just every student, not just every citizen, everyone that's up here has the capacity to do great, to realize that, make it a reality. So here I am, talking about a makerspace. Now, I could talk about 3D printing or CNC machines or machining or learning how to be a designer or things like that, but that's way up here. And the practical application of all that is that I'm helping you guys better become yourself. Come into your own, because that's the thing we're lacking, is genuine personality. People that are actually capable of holding a conversation and expressing their own ideas is such a lacking resource in this country nowadays. And so I've built businesses based around helping people just like you, and just like every one of you, taking those ideas that keep you up at night, the thing that might help you escape this place. And we all laugh because objectively, no one wants to be here because everyone thinks they're alone in this. Everyone thinks that they're the only one with an idea and they need to hold on to it because that's their ticket out of here. But the trick is to share it with one another. You can't do it alone. You need other people to help you achieve that goal. And so the only way we can make Barstow a place worth living in, a place worth being, a place to look toward the future and say, I want that, is to work together to make it happen. And that's what the Makerspace is about. It's not about 3D printing. It's not about design. It's about making you, making Barstow, making the future something worth striving for. It's about hope. And with that, I want to congratulate every 5 of you for making it this far. And I want to congratulate everyone else in the room to coming here and celebrating what they've done. It takes so much to come up here and express something that's intimate to them, something that our society tells us we need to hold sacred and secret and keep to ourselves, and maybe express to some Chinese guy so we can make it in Beijing. Somehow our most trusted confidant is in Guangdong and Shenzhen. How are we supposed to trust them? They're not our neighbors. They're not from here. They don't care about making Barstow a better place, but we do. And so we have to make it. We have to help each other out. So thank you all. What you've done is the first step towards something beautiful. And what I do becomes a lot harder without you guys taking that step. So thank you. And with that, I relinquish the grandstand. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Frank, for not only telling your story, but sharing the possibilities we have here and we're creating at Barstow Community College. Next up, we have a CTE video. If Tim could hit me with that video real quick. We have some amazing career and technical education programs here at Barstow Community College, along with our academic side of the house. Here is a quick representation in this video of what we can offer. I do want to let everyone who's in this room and online virtually know that summer enrollment is taking place now. We have summer sessions. The schedule is available online. I would love to help you enroll in classes for summer. So if you have questions about enrollment, please reach out to me at djeffers@barstow.edu. And students, I'll be talking to you about classes during our lunchtime portion. I want to say thank you again to all of our vendors. If we could just give them a quick round of applause to show our appreciation. Our judges are still deliberating, so we're going to take a brief pause while we wait for them to return. Thank you so much.
First impressions mean a lot.
Liftoff of Mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. The Soil computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Just so I'll know nobody here. Okay, hopefully I'm doing a good job pretending. I'm like, hopefully you got it. Okay. Look this way, okay. I don't know if I need to be talking or. Got it? Okay.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. First, we want to thank each finalist for their hard work and effort. These presentations were created outside of their personal and professional commitments, so job well done. Are you ready to find out who your top 3 finalists are? Yes. Almost there, but first we want to recognize each person here that's sitting to my left. And first we're going to have Taylor come up from Barstow High School, and she is going to acknowledge our 3 Barstow High School students. If we can welcome to the stage Israel Peralta with Help You. Brandon Powers DeRitter with a food truck. And Tyler Hoskins, pet track. Yeah. Do we have someone snapping a quick photo? Okay. Let's give them a round of applause. We have a finalist here from Barstow Community College. Let's welcome to the stage Desiree Garrett with Aqua Delicate. We also have another student from MSJC, Dimitri Arciero, with the Green Project. If we can have you both to the center of the stage. Thank you so much. Our college representation, both locally and regionally. Thank you so much. And again, job well done to all of our finalists, and congratulations. Now the big reveal. What you've all been waiting for. Yeah, drum roll, please. The 2022 Big Idea Pitch Challenge 3rd place winner is Tyler Hoskins from Barstow High School Pet Track. Let's give it up for Tyler. I have 4 dogs who get out all the time, so I could be your first prototype, okay? When you're ready, you come to me. Is he trying to get your attention? All right, another drum roll. The 2022 Big Idea Pitch Challenge 2nd place winner is Desiree Garrett from Aqua Delicate from Barstow Community College. Wonderful job. Congratulations, Desiree. All right. Final drum roll. The 2022 Big Idea Pitch Challenge 1st place winner is the Green Gnome, Dimitri Arciero from MSJC. Congratulations. Great job, Dimitri. I think we should give all of the finalists another round of applause for their job well done. Students, you are an inspiring group, and I want to thank you for what you've done and what you'll continue to do, not only in the business field, but your education as well. So congratulations again. We look forward to keeping up with your stories as you continue to pursue excellence in all areas. We know that you will inspire future students to follow in your footsteps next year with this event. So now I would like to take a moment to thank my colleagues that put so much time and effort to make this event a reality. Thank you to the Big Idea Pitch team. Big Idea Pitch team. First, let's give a round of applause to Denise Pasley. That also includes Thomas Helin, Dr. Henry Young, who couldn't be here, but also the wonderful Carrie O'Neill. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you to our judges today and those that have supported effort throughout all of the rounds. Our workshop presenters, Frank Almeida, Hassani X, and Dr. James Spee. We also want to thank Mount San Jacinto College for encouraging regional student participation and welcoming our first place winner here today from MSJC. Our Barstow Community College CTE staff, led by Dr. Crystal Nacio. Our PAC director and staff. Our Barstow Community College IT and M&O. Without them, this morning would not have been possible. Please join me in applauding all the efforts of those who contributed to this today. Next year, we look forward to more Inland Empire Desert Regional collaboration to make this event even bigger. While the pitches are over for today, the event is not, so we're going to transition to lunch that is hosted by Los Domingos. This is all possible because of the generous donation and support of adult education here at Barstow Community College, specifically Elena Rivera and her team. Yes. So not only did they make arrangements for lunch, but they also provided the wonderful table decorations. We are truly appreciative for this wonderful opportunity to end the event together and to celebrate the accomplishments of the students today. In the lobby, we have tables set up, so please enjoy yourself and spend time congratulating our finalists and find out what's next for their future. Thank you for a wonderful event, and I can't wait for 2023. Thank you.